Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Justina. Welcome to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So here today I'm going to talk about the Mars in Sagittarius transit that starts on November the 24th and it will last until January the 4th. So here Mars in Sagittarius, Mars has been staying in Scorpio in the last few weeks since October. Mars in Scorpio is in its domicile. Here with Mars in Scorpio, we had that inner strength, determination to deal with more complex or more profound aspects or issues of life. Here, Mars in Sagittarius represents very different energies. First of all, we are moving away from the water fixed energy to a mutable fire energy. Mars in Sagittarius has got strength in the final 10 degrees of Sagittarius, but otherwise it is peregrine. It's a term from the traditional astrology, which signifies that when a planet lacks essential dignity. Now, on the one hand, here Mars in Sagittarius as a peregrine planet can be very original and unique in its expression, but at the same time, it can lack that ability to fit in. So here there is a little bit of that rebellious energy that will perhaps manifest in the way that we want to do things our way, follow our own path without trying to fit in, trying to follow this scenario, for example. So we will explore more of these energies in a moment when we move into the horoscope for each rising sign. But here with the last time Mars was in Sagittarius was between December 2021 and January 2022. So here Mars stays roughly 6 weeks in a sign, and it stays and it travels throughout the whole of the zodiac around within 2 years. Right, so here we've got Sagittarius as a fire, mutable sign, and some of the key traits of Mars in Sagittarius includes that expansive energy that inspires us to reach our goals. So lots of inspiration, optimism in the air, as well as Mars moves into Sagittarius. Now, here with Mars in Sagittarius, we want to reach our goals. Our approach to perhaps certain obstacles is different. With Mars in Sagittarius, we just go for it and we see things slightly differently. Perhaps we approach things in a more positive manner. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. There is that need for engaging in activities that will open your horizons, that will open your wisdoms. It can be a travel, it can be some new connection, perhaps this could be about participating in an important event, or perhaps even getting some interesting books that could help you to learn something new, that could help you to progress in your career. So it's a really amazing transit to really make progress in your life. So you've dealt with the more profound issues, the more complex issues, perhaps in the last few weeks. Now it's time to expand your wisdom, to expand your horizons, to try something different, to do something that will increase your adrenaline. Now, something to pay attention to throughout this transit is there is a tendency to overdo something or overextend yourself, overindulgence. There could be here this kind of theme going on, because Sagittarius here, we feel optimistic, we feel inspired and open. So it's not about closing ourselves. Definitely get yourself out there, get engaged in some interesting activities, project, but at the same time, here self-control and that ability to stay grounded and realistic is also essential throughout this time. Now, as Mars enters Sagittarius, it will form a very challenging connection with Saturn. And here, this is a square. Squares create tension, obstacles we have to overcome. Usually we need to implement a little bit of effort. It's a little bit uncomfortable because we need to perhaps bend into the energy of the planet, or perhaps in generally that energy field that feels slightly uncomfortable. So here, Mars and Sagittarius Saturn square. First of all, this square is connected to the cycle that started in April 2022, early April 2022. This is the final square. So perhaps an issue, whatever that started around that early April 2022, here during this time, you will be resolving. You will be either resolving some issue connected to this cycle, or perhaps you will be moving away, eliminating something or someone from your life. So there's this kind of slight change of direction, change of dynamics coming into place. Now, here, if you want to go deeper into this aspect, think about what these two planets represent. Mars is about motivation, drive, energy, passion, aggression, war, soldiers, strikes, knives, surgeries. So these are all iron, red color, heat. Saturn is about boundaries, laws, regulations, responsibility, fear, authority figures as well. So there's this clash that comes into play here, clashing energies, and that will require implementing a little bit of effort, a little bit of energy to resolve this issue. Right. So here, whatever challenges that you face, around these early days of this transit, they can result in a really stimulating period of progress and a positive change. There's an interesting fact, a few events that took place at the beginning of this cycle, because usually whatever happens, even in the world, in the news, in our personal lives, during the beginning of any cycle, during the squares and oppositions, something comes up to the surface. And we will be seeing some headlines connected to the events that were initiated during April 2022 in those early days. So some of the events were connected to Taliban government banning cultivation of opium in Afghanistan. And I already saw some articles connected to opium and the plantations of poppy opium plants. Now, there was also Elon Musk purchased 9.2% of Twitter stock, making him the company's largest shareholder. So here we could also see some headlines in the news connected to Twitter, which is now called the X, and Elon Musk. And also there was Ukrainian government began a war crime investigation during that time. I don't like to get into politics, to be honest, because I like to just, positive energy on this channel. I know, so even kind of giving you these little headlines here, I don't want to kind of stare, but I'm just telling you what happened here. And then there could be some news headlines. It's just to see how astrology works. And peace to everyone. All right, so I think that's what I've got for you today about this transit. Now let's see what this transit means for you on a deeper, more personal level. So here the timestamps are in the comment section and the description box down below this video. Here we go. Thank you very much, and let's begin. So I'll share my screen with you now, and we will discuss this transit's influence for each sign. All right, so here we go. We've got Aries, first sign of the zodiac, and let's just see if you can see what I'm seeing. Okay, perfect. Right, so Aries, this is a big deal for you because every time Mars changes signs, this is also a little change of dynamics that takes place in your personal life. This could be about your change of mind, change of your perspective on a specific matter in your life. So here, change of dynamics. Mars in Scorpio was very comfortable, but the energies were very intense, and perhaps you had to face certain aspects of life that otherwise would feel uncomfortable. But here, when Mars moves into Sagittarius, there is an opportunity for you to engage in activities that will open your horizons, open your wisdom. So lots of expansive here energy that is activated here throughout this transit, especially since your first house ruler in the ninth. So here this often indicates the need to travel or book a trip perhaps for some time in the future. This is also about starting a new course of study, or perhaps this could be about reading some interesting books. Here, higher learning, knowledge is emphasized. Perhaps you might have your life principles could also undergo a slight change. Or perhaps this could be about anything to do with your life philosophy as well. Lots of energies here in the ninth house. So yes, the travel could be very much on your mind, and this is a very adventurous time, without a doubt. So don't waste your energies, perhaps on withdrawing yourself from some fun activities. This is a time to engage. This is a time to get involved in activities that will help you to make progress in your life. Because with so much Sagittarian energy throughout this time, and this is your ninth house, this could be a really good time also for participating in some events that could be connected to business networking, where you could meet like-minded people connected to your career, because this then in turn could create some new career prospects. Whatever happens in the ninth house or during the ninth house transit has a good influence, positive influence upon your career. So when we move into Capricorn season, especially when Mars moves here, this is when things will definitely speed up for you, and that you will see that things are happening in your career area. When Mars is in Capricorn, where Mars is very strong. So lots of strength, and here Mars will trine your ascendant, so a very big boost of energy for you here. Mars in Sagittarius, even though here, as I said, it's peregrine, it gives you a lot of strength as it trines your ascendant degree. Now, on a different level here with Mars in Sagittarius also, what I wanted to tell you is that Mars will square Saturn in the 12th house. So there's a little bit of tension here as we begin this transit, something perhaps to overcome. Perhaps this could be about some blockages, perhaps some kind of, this could be connected to your career very much, because Saturn is the ruler of your career. And with Mars, for some people, this could play out in a way that you feel like you're not able to progress in your career. You feel like career is not bringing much satisfaction, or a project you are dealing with. This could be about a tense connection, perhaps not connection, but perhaps a meeting or exchange of words with someone connected to your career as well. So there is this tension, or perhaps if you are assigned to a certain project, you will have to stretch, and you will have to perhaps get out of your comfort zone and deal with a situation that is slightly out of your control, because often the squares represent energies, situations that are created by third parties, something that perhaps it's not really our fault. So at the beginning of this transit, it's not the best time for seeking too much recognition in your career area, because you will unlikely see satisfying outcomes and results. Perhaps wait until this square is dissolved towards the final days of November. But at the same time here, yes, so generally delays and blockages connected to your career, professional life growth. You might feel like withdrawing as this transit begins a little bit, but as we move away here from Saturn, here, this is when you get this massive boost of energy, and that feeling that you want to get yourself out there. So yes, studying, learning, traveling, it's all very much emphasized. Investing in yourself. The North Node is in your first house. So it's all about perhaps reaching your purpose. It's all about realigning with what you're supposed to be doing. So lots of positive energies. As we move away from Saturn here, you will feel like you want to engage in activities that can open your horizons, and you will see that light at the end of the tunnel. So here, since Mars is your ruler, think about what happened in April 2022 when this cycle between Mars and Saturn began. Because during these early days of Mars and Sagittarius transit, you might be dealing with a situation that is familiar to you, that has been an ongoing issue since that early days of April. Right, so here that's Mars in the ninth house overall. Now let's see what this transit means for Taurus rising. And right, so here Taurus, this is your 8th house, and with Mars in the 8th house, the planet of passion, drive, and motivation. So here this can have a positive impact upon your intimate relationship. There is that need to connect with another on a deeper soul-like level, especially since the Sun is here and Mercury. Overall, with the transit of the 8th house here, there's still that depth, even though you've got Sagittarius present here. So you might be thinking about life after death throughout Sagittarius season, life after death, your life purpose, the mortality or your mortality. So this kind of topics will be still present throughout Sagittarius season without a doubt. But here with Mars in Sagittarius, perhaps Mars in Sagittarius gives you a little bit more optimism, a little bit of like a push to see things from a slightly more optimistic perspective, point of view. So here this transit will have a positive impact upon your life. Of course, wait until this Mars establishes itself properly in Sagittarius, because the initial days will be here under the influence of that square. So there could be some tension with someone from your social circle, perhaps a little disappointment, perhaps you will feel like someone is letting you down. So this is the way this energy could play out, or perhaps it could be about feeling slightly demotivated about certain goals, dreams, and perhaps this transit will make you redefine your goals, redefine your dreams or plans that you may have had. So here, take it easy, because this is a short-lasting energy, but perhaps also think about what happened in April 2022, because you might be dealing with a theme that took place around that time as well. Right, so here with Mars in the 8th house, this is also when you might be dealing with expenses. These are expenses that could be connected to other people. So these might not be your expenses, but perhaps if someone perhaps might need your help, your support, a family member. This could be also about dealing with insurance payouts. This could be also when you might receive perhaps some support, help from a government institution. With Mars here, where Mars rules your 12th house. So yes, we discussed those deeper aspects of life, and also the 7th house. Yes, so perhaps this could be also about some action being taken in your partner's life. So perhaps your partner might be going through some expenses that would affect that shared budget, for example. This could be also the case. But overall, here with Mars in the 8th, there's also that need for a transformation in your life, especially since the Sun is here, Mercury as well, for in the initial phase of this transit. There is this need to transform something in your life, something that isn't working anymore, something that has lost its spark and purpose. Mars gives you the inner strength to perhaps do things slightly differently, to follow your own path, to perhaps get out of your comfort zone as well. I told you earlier, Mars is peregrine in Sagittarius, so it doesn't always fit in the scenario. And if you feel like you don't fit in a certain environment, in a certain life situation, then Mars in the 8th house will make you want to implement the necessary changes to find the inner balance. You are ruled by Venus, and Venus is still in Libra at this point. So you need that inner balance in your life. Libra rules your 6th house. To feel at peace and to be able to deal with other aspects of your life. So if there is that imbalance in your daily life, then it will be difficult for you to function productively. So here with Mars in the 8th house, this could be also a good time for perhaps eliminating any obstacles, any negative habits that act as a blockage towards personal fulfillment. Right, so here we go, Taurus. Thank you very much. And let's move into the next sign. All right, so let's look at Gemini now. Gemini, for you, this transit will be in your 7th house. Right, so the 7th house deals with the other people. So when we have transits, planets going through the 7th house, this is when we learn a lot about ourselves through other people, through situations that occur, emerge, conversations. And yeah, so generally Sagittarius season is a really good time for you to socialize with others. Or even if it isn't just socializing in big groups, generally one-to-one connections, conversations with people who have a positive impact upon your life, perhaps coaches or your friends who deal with coaching, psychology, or generally people who will help you to expand your wisdom horizons. Perhaps you'll be doing some courses as well around this time. This is all about engaging in experiences with other people that will open your horizons, open your wisdom as well. Here, Sagittarius is connected to optimism, adventure. With Sagittarius, with Mars transiting Sagittarius, perhaps you will have to get out of your comfort zone once or twice or even more than that to feel like you truly fit in. Perhaps there has to be some readjustment in this area of life, in your friendship, in your connection, partnership, relationship. If something isn't working, Mars in the 7th house and the sun shining its light here will make it very noticeable and very visible. So here Mercury is also present in Sagittarius, and Mercury in Sagittarius can be very philosophical. But Mercury in Sagittarius can also say what's on their minds, what on your minds. So you will have some interesting conversations, and perhaps you might learn a bit about yourself from other people's point of view. But at the same time, here with Mars, this is all about also making or creating plans with others. So this transit might really stimulate that need to get involved in some business partnerships or partnerships to create mutual goals with your significant other, with your friends. Mars here is also, well, the negative manifestation of this transit is, of course, that perhaps a risk-taking, but also overdoing something. So perhaps you'll be trying too hard to make something work, even though if you see it isn't really working. So it's all about also being realistic and grounded. Self-control. Self-control is also here key. Now, at the beginning of this transit, Mars will square Saturn in the 10th house. So the way this could play out, as I said earlier, Mars is all about that passion, drive here. The 7th house also rules contracts we have with other people. And with Mars, here in the square to Saturn. Saturn square represents obstacles. Squares represent that tension and tense energy. Saturn is about boundaries and limitations. And here with Saturn in the 10th house, the energies have resumed substantially here. And in the next 2.5 years, you have an opportunity to build this solid foundation, the career, professional life area that will flourish once, or may potentially flourish once we get the eclipses going in these houses. So it's a really good time to really focusing your energies on your career now, because sometimes we turn our attention on the wrong area of life when there is nothing happening, and then we are dissatisfied with the results or outcomes of whatever goals that we are trying to reach, instead of paying attention to the area where things are happening. And for you, this is definitely the upper part of the chart here in the final weeks of the year, if not months, because at this point, it's just Venus that's in the lower part of the chart. The lower part of the chart is about our private life, ourselves. The upper part of the chart is about the outside world, the other people. So there's so much focus here on the upper part of the chart here that this is a time to really grow professionally, move forward with career goals, expand your networking connections, business networking connections, for example, to get yourself out there with any goals, ambitions, to perhaps create mutual goals with other people, to get engaged in partnerships, collaborations of some sort. So here, with Mars squaring Saturn here, perhaps there could be some limitations connected to any contracts you'll be signing. Perhaps some tension with someone at your work, authority figure. Perhaps this could be that your partner is... well, this could be about some tension in your relationship, without a doubt, and something might come into light. Now, remember that we are dealing with energies that started in April 2022 when it comes to this square. So also think about what happened throughout that time, because you might be eliminating some issue that already took place, was present in April 2022. So here, this could be also about having to face a difficult conversation that perhaps you were avoiding, and now the time has come. And with this square and Saturn and Mars that represent such different energies, it could be that you will have to meet halfway. It won't be your way. So it's also about being adaptable and flexible with that Sagittarius energy as well. But once we move away from this transit here, this is all about being optimistic, feeling optimistic about some kind of relationship, partnership goals, prospects. And overall here, that's what I've got for you today. Thank you very much. And let's move into the next sign. Hello, Cancers, and welcome to your horoscope for the upcoming Mars in Sagittarius transit. Mars in the 6th. So as you probably know, I enjoy talking about the 6th house for some reason, even though it's not like such an exciting house, but here the 6th house, yes. So a lot of different things will be happening for you, but overall Sagittarius season will be very busy. Very busy, so definitely practice that self-care, self-love, which I often emphasize or can't emphasize enough, because with so many energies transiting your 6th house, the 6th house is the house of service, hard work, labor. So whatever transits happen in the 6th house, often we've got our responsibilities increase. We need to reach certain deadlines as well. And with Mars here, it's often connected to lots of physical energy here. Now, you might really enjoy doing sports in your everyday life. Here, if you feel drained, make sure that you implement actually a bit of physical activity into your life. Even if it's a walk, a daily walk, then it will help you to lift your mood and lift your energy. It's really essential here, actually. having that physical activity taking place throughout this time. Mars in the 6th, yes, having to reach deadlines at work, perhaps having to commute to work more often than usual if you would otherwise stay at home. This is also when you will have to watch out for perhaps your health, because with Mars here, Mars is connected to hot energy, and this could indicate perhaps inflammations or fever. So here you will have to make sure you watch your diet, eat a healthy nutrition. You might really enjoy spicy foods throughout this transit, because the 6th house is also connected to our diet, and Mars is connected to spicy foods, and you might enjoy actually having some curry or spicy dishes around this transit. With Mars and Sagittarius here present also, this is also connected, perhaps you might get a pet throughout this transit as well. Throughout the Sagittarius season, there could be this simulation. If you are unemployed here, try to look for a job, get your CVs out, because you can really achieve a lot throughout this transit. Usually, this is a transit that increases our ability to stay consistent, to stay productive. This is the house of productivity, traditionally connected to Virgo. So overall here, this is also a time when you will have to be precise, when you will have to be well organized in order to stay or remain consistent. So any chaos may generally just create delays and frustration. So overall here, you have to make sure you stay organized in order to reach your deadlines, to reach your goals. And this could be also when you'll be dealing with health checkups, medical appointments as well. It's a good time also to improve your skills. And if you think that's perhaps you need to learn more about a specific skill that is connected to the service that you offer, then perhaps this will be a really, really good time for updating your skills. This is the house of skills, our skills that we offer to other people, to help other people. So definitely here, update and refresh your skills if you think that some of them are outdated. But overall, much activity in the everyday life, and it's a time when you can lose weight as well if you want to lose weight, because with Mars here, there's a lot of adrenaline and a lot of physical energy as well. So while Venus and Jupiter indicate or may indicate overindulgence and in sweet or fatty foods, here with Mars, it's a good time for losing weight, for getting rid of unnecessary weight. If this is something that you wanted to do, also during this time, this is a good time for moving away from some outlived perhaps habits and routines. As soon as this transit starts, by the way, Mars will square Saturn, and this can create perhaps delays when it comes to any travel. So plan carefully, leave early. Perhaps this could be connected also to some clashes at your work, and requiring you to perhaps implement more effort, get out of your comfort zone. So here there's some disruption in your everyday life. So any travel, trips, whatever it is that is connected to movement, plan in advance, and don't leave anything to the last minute. Don't overbook your diary here on the 24th, 25th, 26th of November, because something might come up disrupt your trip, disturb your trip, disturb your routine. And here, if you are overloaded with activities, responsibilities, it will be difficult for you to overcome this challenge. Right, so here we go, Cancers. Thank you very much. And let's move into the next sign. Hello, Leos, and welcome to your horoscope for the upcoming Mars in Sagittarius transit. So here for you, this is a very beneficial transit because Sagittarius and Leo are fire signs. So we've got a lovely trine, a boost of energy for you, an optimistic boost as well. So here after Mars in Scorpio, where you had that square, a bit of tension, a bit of perhaps irritability because you had to deal with lots of activities, our responsibilities at your home. Here, Mars moves into the fifth house, and now you want to have some fun. You want to relax a little bit, indulge in some interesting activities. Mars is connected to physical energy, and with Mars in the fifth, this could be connected to really enjoy activities connected to perhaps something that could increase your adrenaline, dance, Zumba movement. It's very much the case. Now you could be also traveling. The fifth house deals with rental places, so you could be traveling and perhaps staying somewhere temporarily. Here, there's a lot of action with your children as well. If you have children, then this will likely to be a vivid time. And they might be very active. They might be having difficulty falling asleep, or perhaps they could be waking up at night. So this kind of themes could be also happening. But overall, with Mars and the Sun here, this is a good time for reconnecting with your inner self, for doing things that will help you to expand your hobbies, interests as well. And Sagittarius is connected to that energy that deals with optimism and hope. So here you might actually realize that there are some exciting possibilities for you to perhaps expand your business if you have your own business, but perhaps you didn't notice them before because you were too focused on different areas of life and you forgot about, or perhaps you didn't notice that was actually just in front of you. So this could be also a time of some interesting realizations that could help you to move forward with specific career-related goal. You've got Jupiter here and Uranus in your 10th house, so it's a good time for expanding your networking connections, for expanding your horizons as well, for moving forward with any career-related goals. But at the same time, with Mars in the 5th house, this is also an opportunity for dealing with your skills, talents, for gaining more confidence in your inner self as well. Romance is in the air as well. Of course, the 5th house deals with romance. The Sun is here, Mercury as well. So this could be perhaps a time of when you will be dating, and Venus is in Libra in your 3rd house. This is a good time for dating. Without a doubt, Pluto is moving into their 7th house. It's at 28 degrees at this point. So there will be changes in that relationship area, without a doubt, but it will highly depend where your descendant angle is. So if it's in these first degrees of Aquarius, then you will feel it very intensely very soon. But if it's in the final ones, then this massive hit will only happen in a decade or so. So it will very much depend. But overall here with Mars, the Sun and Mercury in the 5th, a good time for having fun, enjoying life, entertainment, socializing, dating. But we've got Venus in the 3rd as well. You make a really good impression on others. You communicate in a charming Venusian way, which is also beneficial for those who want to date, especially since the Sun rules your chart in the 5th. Yes, this is connected also to perhaps having lots of conversations connected to children, family planning, perhaps conception could be on your mind, or you might conceive throughout this period as well, with so many energies stimulating this area of your life. Now, as this transit begins, Mars will square Saturn. So this could be perhaps a time when you might be dealing with some expenses connected to children, holiday clubs, the approaching festive season, of course. Perhaps you will have to deal with some family-related responsibilities or work-related that could block that ability to perhaps have fun. But this is a temporary energy influence. Just for your information, it won't be long-lasting, but these are the energies resonating here. between around the 23rd, 25th of the month. Think about what happened in your life around April 2022, because here this square is connected to that same cycle. So here we go. Thank you very much, Leos, and let's move into the next sign. Right, so we've got Virgos now, and for Virgos, this is the fourth house. So here, Sagittarius and Virgo, they connect by a square. So overall here, you will have to watch at the time when Mars is at the degree of your ascendant, because this will be crucial. It won't be just tense. It won't be a tense period, over the next 6 weeks. But that tension will come up when Mars squares any placements you may have in Virgo or Pisces here. And these are really, really significant placements, especially that first house. So you have to watch that, because this could be connected to generally some obstacle blocking that ability to move forward. So you want to move forward with a certain goal, idea, but there is something at your home, related to your home, for example, your partner, masculine energy, that is going to perhaps make you feel slightly restricted and limited, and will block your effort. So don't get overly externally influenced, even though with that Pisces on your 7th house, you can easily get externally influenced by other people. But here, this is a short-lasting energy, because once we move away from, oh yes, that Mars was Mars squaring your ascendant. But with Mars squaring Saturn, on the other hand, this is about having some conflicting situation with your significant other, or someone with whom you have a contract. Perhaps you will be moving away from this contract. This could be about a termination, or perhaps this could be also about some kind of issue connected to that cycle that started in April 2022, now coming up to the surface, and it's about finding a solution, a resolution, and it's connected to these one-to-one connections, your home, and there's this clashing, restricting energy that is stimulating or forcing you to perhaps meet halfway. It can't be just your way. It has to be a meet halfway scenario, most likely. But as we move away from these energies here, Mars in the 4th house is really great for dealing with home-related responsibilities. Decluttering is very much highlighted very often with Mars in the 4th. Now, with Mars in the 4th overall, Mars is connected to war or warriors, fiery energy, dynamic energy. So yes, it could be explosive every now and then at home. There could be more arguments. Overall here, people could be pretty dynamic, fiery, explosive around this transit. But overall here, this is also a good time for decluttering, for reorganizing things at your home, renovating as well. You could be painting, redecorating, and overall, the energies are like centered around your home. This could be also a time when you could be dealing with expenses connected to your home, or you could be beautifying your home. Venus is in your 2nd house. And here, Venus in the 2nd house of personal resources, possessions, might stimulate that need to buy some objects of beauty for your home. So this could be the case throughout Mars and Sagittarius transit. Now, on a different level here with Mars, this could be also about having some important conversations connected to joint and shared resources in your household as well. Mars in Sagittarius, yes, Mars and Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is a fire sign. And for some, perhaps this could be about sorting out wood or your fireplace for winter, or anything to do with radiators, places that produce heat. If there are some issues, pipe blockages, if some radiators need to be replaced, then perhaps you'll be dealing with that in December. And Yes, so I think that's here's there is a lot of energy centered around your home, but also with Mars and Saturn square, you will be probably resolving some issues connected to these home related matters. If it's not connected to anything to do with your partner, then perhaps this could be about your landlord, about your roommate, housemate, some clashing energies that will need to be resolved. But other than that, here it's all about your home, and that needs to feel comfortable at your home. So comfort, the fourth house, is a very sensitive point in the chart. And with Mars here, you've got the energy to perhaps resolve any problems at your home that perhaps you didn't have the energy and the motivation to resolve before. Right, so here we go, Virgos, thank you very much. And let's move into Libra. So here for Libra, this transit, let's see. So here for Libra, this transit will be in your third house. The third house deals with communication. Here, first of all, you've got a beautiful sextile to your Libra ascendant. So this is already, a positive boost of energy for you. Venus is still in your first house as we begin this transit, approaching the south node. So perhaps you'll be making some new connections with people that feel like you met before or you have known before. There's that past life energy, karmic energy coming into place. But at the same time here, Mars in the third here, there is this need on the one hand to connect with other people, expand your connections within your neighborhood, within your community. This could be about also dealing with some projects that require a lot of physical energy. And this is, for example, also related to traveling. So you could see yourself traveling more often than usual to local areas or across the country, but it's usually connected to the local community or places within your country. So you could see yourself traveling, reconnecting with your siblings, with your perhaps with people from your community. But there is this need to get yourself out there, to use your social skills and perhaps socialize. This could be also about setting up a new account on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Mars is about the drive, motivation, and courage. And you've got this inner drive here with Mars in the third for movement, for action. It's a very sociable time in many ways because you have Venus in the first house, you make a good impression on other people, you attract positive experiences. Mars in the third is about traveling. So you could be traveling without a doubt. This is also about increased social activity, as I mentioned earlier. Perhaps you'll be dealing with also any important written projects, building your website, writing an important proposal, or you could be blogging. Lots of mental stimulation here is in place, lots of mental activity. You could feel restless at time as well. And you might need to find something like an outlet to release these energies. So perhaps find something also that will stimulate your mind, because if you feel overly restless, then perhaps there is too much mental activity that hasn't been used effectively or sufficiently. So engaging in activities of a stimulating nature here will be very beneficial. But also pub quiz. You might enjoy going out and getting involved in a pub quiz, which is very popular here in England. Right. So yes, so that's the third house, working with your hands. Pottery could be very much the case here, but I think lots of communication, reconnecting with people. You very sociable time. So as this transit begins, you've got Mars and Saturn square, which could indicate some clashes at your work, or perhaps dealing with lots of responsibilities, lots of deadlines, or perhaps someone overloading their work onto you unfairly. So there is something that basically will require a quick resolution Thankfully, Mars is in Sagittarius, so you can see things from a slightly more optimistic point of view. Saturn here in Pisces in the 6th is helping you to be more constructive, more organized in your life, in your daily life. But here, yes, I think this could be about a situation that occurs at your work with a coworker, or perhaps this could be about also some transportation issues as well. So watch out when traveling. Don't speed. Watch your speed. Make sure you pay for the parking, because it's easy to get fined as well with Mars in the 3rd. Pay attention when working with sharp objects. Yes, so overall, especially here when Mars squares Saturn. And that's my take on this transit. So here we go. Thank you very much. And let's move into the next sign. Hello, Scorpios, and welcome to your horoscope for the upcoming Mars and Sagittarius transit. So here, I've been thinking about this transit already a few weeks ago, because when Mars is in the 2nd house, suddenly we've got this inner need to spend money, to buy things, to accumulate resources, possessions, perhaps. The sales season comes along around this time as well. So perhaps you could see yourself buying new accessories, clothes, jewelry, for example. So here, watch your outgoings, because it's very easy to get into debts, or keep your receipts, because you might change your mind, especially since Mercury will be retrograde in December. And actually, I'm glad that I mentioned that, because Mercury is in the 2nd house, and with Mercury in the 2nd house, yes, we become more practical about our spendings. We think before we make a move, even though Sagittarius is connected to that risky energy, expansive energy, but Mercury is that planet related to our intellect, our mind. And here with Mercury in the 2nd house, we become analytical very often when it comes to our money spending habits. But when Mars comes here, there is that impatient, fiery energy, and you want to, buy this, buy that. And at the end of the day, you realize that perhaps you overdid it, which is very much connected to Sagittarius as well. So something to keep in mind, because if we are aware of these energies, if we are aware of these tendencies, at least we know about them, and we can practice that self-control. Right. So with Mars in the 2nd house, you could see that also this could be beneficial for your business, because this could mean that your sales go up and improve with Mars in the 2nd house. So we become more aggressive in a way that, we want to make money. So it's also a good transit for improving your financial prospects, because on the one hand, you feel like shopping and spending money, accumulating wealth, resources. But at the same time, you want to make money as well. You want to improve your financial situation. So here with Mars in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is connected to that expansive, optimistic energy. And with Mars in Sagittarius, you might also enjoy getting involved in activities that will help you to make progress in your career. So perhaps something that will open your horizons, new course of study, for example, or new books, or perhaps some kind of professional development course. This could be very much the case, since Mars rules over your 6th house, and the Sun, the 10th, and they are both in the 2nd. Now, as this transit begins here, and actually also, while I remember, with Mars in the 2nd house, it might be also easier to lose weight, because the 2nd house is connected to that Taurian energy, which rules this part of the body. And thyroid. Oh, I got it right. I remembered the name. Sometimes it's difficult to remember all the medical terminology, but here with Mars, Mars speeds things up. So with Mars in the 2nd house, here you might also lose weight, or you might be having more spicy foods, or spicy, with spices or with chili sort of things, and it might be easier to lose weight throughout this transit in December. And not all December, because then Venus will move into the first, and you might be craving sweets and sugary stuff again. But before Venus moves into Scorpio, and while Mars is in Sagittarius, this is a good time for losing weight. You could see yourself losing weight. Right. At the same time, you might also feel more confident in yourself. Self-worth, self-esteem gets a boost during this time. Now, here as this transit begins, Mars will square Saturn. So this could be a time. This is an important time to be cautious with your money, with your spendings. Perhaps you will also have to deal with some outgoings that will be out of your control. Or perhaps there could be some realizations connected to your self-worth, self-esteem, to security, financial security and stability in your life. So something to pay attention to. And at the same time here, it's not a good time for risky spending or unconscious spending. So what's your budget here between the 22nd and 25th of November, round about this date, 23rd, 22nd of November? What's your budget as well here? Other than that, thank you very much, and let's move into the next sign. All right, so here we go, Sagittarius. This is your first house. So I'm still going through this transit as I'm recording this video. And things have definitely moved forward since Mars left my 12th house. So Mars in the 12th house is a very sleepy time. It can be a very sleepy time when things move slower, when we are less motivated. It's a good time for working independently, and there are a lot of positives as well. But here when Mars moves into the first house, things suddenly move forward at a much faster pace. And it's a time of increased confidence in oneself. And of course, Sagittarius on the first house cusp makes you naturally someone who has got this optimistic outlook on life, or a tendency towards seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And when Mars moves into the first house, where the Sun and Mercury will be present, you will see that things will finally take a different turn. So it's a good time for moving forward with certain goals, or even initiating, because you're starting a new 2 years cycle. Now, as we begin this transit, we will have a little clash of energies happening between the area of the self and your 4th house, which Saturn is present. That's the family foundation, your home. And here, if you think about what happened around April 2022, that's when this transit cycle began. Here during this square, this could be about a situation or a similar theme that comes up, that you initiated, that you dealt with around April 2022. So here it's this could be about a certain degree obstacle connected to your home, something that is going to block your effort, perhaps temporarily for a few days, or perhaps it could be about some delays that could occur connected to home and family dynamics foundation. So this is about finding a solution to a problem that emerges without delaying it, because any delays of obstacles that emerge around this transit will only make these carry on until they are fully resolved. So it's all about finding a quick resolution, but it will require some effort. It will require some energy as well from your side. But when Saturn squares Mars, and this can create that tendency towards self-disbelief, or perhaps that low self-esteem. It's a temporary transit. This could be also connected to a situation that emerges with your children, perhaps. So here, the first couple of days of this transit, between the 22nd, 23rd, and the 25th, around these days, here there is this tension in the air. So it's a good time for generally getting involved in activities, or generally engaging in conversations with people who are of a harmonious nature, who have positive impact upon your life, because these people or experiences will help you to deal with the challenges or tension that possibly occurs around this time. But overall, here with Mars moving into your first house, yes, you are beginning a new 2 years cycle. So things are moving forward. It's like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon. And apart from this little obstacle that could show up in the initial phase of this transit, overall, this is like a forward momentum where you can finally see progress in your life. You can finally see that things are moving forward. You've got the energy, the stamina to take action and to make things happen. Now you need to watch out, because there's also a tendency to overdo certain things, because you might be full of energy, full of adrenaline to take action. But sometimes it's also essential to pause and to think things through, because otherwise you might regret the decisions that you make throughout this transit. So definitely self-control and grounding exercises will help if you feel overly stimulated. But also you'll see that you will be getting involved in physical activities, and they will bring a lot of satisfaction in inner satisfaction, especially here. With Mars in the first house, we've got lots of energy as well. So you can achieve quite a lot throughout this transit. But overall, here we go. Thank you very much, Sagittarius. And let's move into the next sign. Hello, Capricorns, and welcome to your horoscope for the upcoming Mars in Sagittarius transit. So here, Mars in the 12th house. Mars in the 12th house along with the Sun and Mercury. So here until the middle of December, you might have a need to withdraw from the outside world. And whether this is your sun sign, whether this is your ascendant sign, generally when the sun is before transiting in the sign that is before our ascendant or our sun sign, usually we feel like we want to perhaps withdraw from the outside world. Things slow down. It's more difficult to achieve our objectives, our goals. So here, be patient with yourself, because it doesn't mean that you're not going to accomplish anything or nothing will come out from whatever that you are going to be working on around this time. It's just it's basically whatever that is happening requires a little bit of time to mature. Here, the transits in the 12th house can slow progress, can slow things down. It's a good transit overall for working independently. You can really focus your energies when you work independently on a specific goal, project, idea. If you work from home, you might really enjoy this phase. Mars in the 12th house can make you overall feel like you want to perhaps you want to take it easy, take it slower. Perhaps it might be difficult to motivate yourself at times, so you will have to practice self-motivation. And it's also essential because here Mars can repress our energies. With Mars in the 12th house, you might often repress anger or repress frustration, and then it might escalate to something much larger and you might explode at some point, not literally, but here metaphorically speaking. So during this transit, you will really benefit from getting involved in activities of a physical nature. So jogging or walking, it's really, really important because Mars in 12th house here, the energies are repressed. So we need to implement a little bit of efforts to get these energies out of our system. So jogging, swimming, martial arts, whatever that you enjoy doing that is of a physical nature, even if it is just walking, that will help you to release the excess of these of anger, frustration, because all the frustration and anger that you accumulate throughout this transit, most of it stays inside. So unless you practice also meditation or yoga, jogging, sports, physical activity, it might be like, oh, you'll feel slightly tense. So something to definitely watch out and remember. The sun in the 12th here, you feel like perhaps staying behind the scenes more often than usual, but at the same time, it's a good time for self-discovery, understanding, healing, mental health comes into light. And you might enjoy also reading about yourself. So this could be about doing some psychological tests to see what type you are, this sort of things. And you might also enjoy studying astrology, spirituality, getting engaged in spiritual activities, retreats, events as well. And overall here, it's a very interesting transit. You might also experience insomnia during this transit. So you might benefit or enjoy perhaps flower essence. That's what I enjoy, actually. Take a few drops of a flower essence if I can't sleep. And I did experience insomnia throughout this transit. I'm sharing some of my experiences actually here, and the experiences of people who have just gone who are currently going through this transit, those with Sagittarius on their ascendant. So I'm here sharing these experiences with you. All right, so here at the beginning of this transit, we've got a Mars and Saturn square. It will especially impact Capricorns and to a certain degree Aquarians, and then also Aries and Scorpios, because these are the planets that rule these signs. So here between the 22nd, 23rd, and 25th, 6th of November, you might experience some blockages, something or someone holding you back, delays as well. Don't expect, I don't want to say miracles, but perhaps some fulfilling experiences. If you've been working hard and effectively, these days might not produce overly fruitful events or outcomes. So just to keep this in mind. But overall, this could be about something or someone, or this could be even a situation that is out of your control, making you feel slightly limited with your prospects, with your abilities, making it difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Perhaps you will have to find a solution or change direction, eliminate someone or something from your life that is making you feel miserable, that is lowering your self-esteem or self-worth. Think about what happened in April 2022, because that's when this cycle began. So the theme from April 2022 could be present in the initial phase of Mars in Sagittarius transit. I've just realized that I named this chart Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio, accidentally. But never mind, it's in Sagittarius. So here we go. Thank you very much. And let's move into the next sign. Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope for the upcoming Mars in Sagittarius transit. So here, this is your 11th house. And here with Mars, as Mars enters this transit, Sagittarius, it will square Saturn in Pisces. So for you, this is significant because Saturn is your traditional ruler. And the way this could play out is that between the 22nd and the 25th or 6th of November, this could be about a situation or a person or something that is out of your control that could perhaps delay your progress, make you feel slightly perhaps low in your mood. Or perhaps it could be about you feeling like you don't know enough, you don't have enough. So there is this restricting energy that is creating blockages and that ability to move forward. Here, this is about finding a solution to the problem that emerges. This could be also about having some clashing situation with someone from your social circle, for example, or perhaps this could be about feeling negative about a certain goal that you've been trying to reach, and it feels like it's never going to happen. So here, perhaps you will have to implement some adjustments. Perhaps this is about changing your direction, changing your plan to a certain extent. Think about what happened in your life in April 2022, at the beginning of April, because that's when this cycle began between Mars and Saturn during this square. That theme that was present in your life throughout that time could be also the theme of this current life situation scenario. So it's all about finding a solution. It's all about finding a resolution, because whatever that we delay or push away, it will come back, but it will be much harder to deal with. So here you've got the activation of your area of friendships, long-term goals and plans and finances. Perhaps it could be about having to deal with some sudden unexpected expenses that could feel slightly restricting and limiting. Perhaps this could be about having some kind of disappointing experiences with a friend, or feeling miserable about not being able to reach a certain goal or milestone. So as I said here, perhaps you will have to move away from this person. Perhaps you will have to readjust this goal. But other than that, Mars in Sagittarius here could open some new opportunities connected to your social life, your social circle. It's a good time, very good time, because Mars is the traditional ruler of your 10th house. So a good time for expanding your social network. So this could be about networking with like-minded people, with other business professionals, or perhaps people who are connected to your career. A great time for getting yourself out there, for participating in some work functions, work events, for example. Now, you could be also involved in managing a certain team or a group. Here, your leadership skills are emphasized at this time, perhaps not initially because of that square with Saturn, when there could be a situation that makes you feel like you can't fulfill a certain goal or perhaps objective. But other than that, with Mars and the Sun and Mercury here, this is a good time for getting involved in some activities that would allow you to use your leadership skills, or perhaps learn to develop your leadership skills. This is about some group involvement as well. Manifestation here, so anything to do with setting your goals for 2024. Here, this is the house of long-term goals, hopes and wishes and plans. So here with Mars in the 11th house, you could be creating your vision maps for 2024. You could be creating your goals for next year. It's a really good time because you've got the energy for doing so. A great time for generally for taking action and for finding ways to reach your goals. Mars and Aquarius, they connect by a sextile. So here you get an extra boost of these beautiful energies that help you to feel inspired, driven as well. All right, so here we go, Aquarius. Thank you very much. And let's move it into Pisces. Hello, Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope. So here we go, Mars in Scorpio. Mars in Scorpio, that's your 10th house, and that's where Sagittarius is present. So overall here, December will likely to be a very busy month connected to your career growth. And there are a lot of opportunities to move forward here with these energies. Usually when Mars is in a 10th, on the one hand, you've got lots of energy to really push forward with specific goals and ideas, but at the same time, it could be that there is a lot happening in your organization, a lot of activity that requires your energy and your effort. So you could be spending lots of hours at your office, at your work, and your organization, with your coworkers, dealing with certain deadlines here. Mars is that fiery, dynamic planet that could also stimulate that need to perhaps become a leader. Perhaps you could be like especially ambitious throughout this transit, wanting to perhaps excel at the specific project that you're involved in. So there is this increased ambition that could be the place, wanting to be the leader, wanting to be the manager, wanting to reach your goals. But at the same time with Mars here, this could be also when you will be having some heated debates, conversations with others. So it's all about learning to incorporate that well-balanced communication with others, because there could be someone that will want to perhaps overstep your opinions, and you will have to know how to deal with this kind of situation so that you don't perhaps get into any trouble. Now, Mars here is also great for dealing with professional life development, courses, studies, for having interviews, for perhaps generally dealing with any career and professional life achievements. Your public image is here very much emphasized, your public opinion. Now here, as we begin this transit, Mars will square Saturn. So the first phase between the 22nd, 23rd, and the 25th of the month, 26th, here, perhaps it's not a good time for having interviews, for trying to be overly ambitious at your work, because you might encounter some clashing energy, someone trying to block your effort, or something, or some external influences out of your control that would just demotivate you. Now, on a different level, this could be also connected to perhaps having to move away from a certain project connection. And perhaps you will be redefining your goals, your career goals. Perhaps this is about having to change your direction, make some readjustments. Saturn is now at 0 degree moving forward. And think about what happened in your life also in April 2022, when we had when we started this cycle between Mars and Saturn. Because during the final days of November, you might be moving away or breaking away from some project connection idea that was present or initiated back in April 2022. At the same time here, with Saturn being at 0 degree, starting yet again its journey in Pisces. Perhaps this is about another take, the second chance as well. That could be the case as well. So lots of dynamic and fiery energy here that really stimulates you to move forward and reach your goals and hopes connected to your career growth and development. All right, so here we go. Thank you very much, Pisces. All right, so here we go. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you a pleasant Mars in Sagittarius transit, and until the next time, bye for now.